after running the numbers game against 3-on-2, having to watch for the referee who is doing what I can consider total BS job. What can I say? The titles changed hands. Apparently, we are suspended again. How does that work, Pillsbury? The deck was stacked. Because there's some bullying going on. And that's totally what it is. Total and utter bullying.
Go ahead, Righteous, get you a few. You're doing an awful lot of sniveling, an awful lot of crying for somebody who's been warned for months what would happen if you weren't a team player. But you just can't keep your mouth shut, can you? So that's why NAV's not going to be here tomorrow, Sunday, October 18th, just like they weren't here October 11th, and they might not ever be here again. Because I don't need you. Sure, your little fan base there, your little circle of what shall we call educationally challenged, let fly. Yeah, they may love NAV. I've gotten pictures, I've gotten warnings, I've gotten stupid videos and threats all week from your League of Idiots. But outside this circle, you're not missed much, guys. I hate to tell you that. I mean, if you look at the numbers, last week, without NAV here, without NAV on the card, that was our number 3 highest rated program in 505 history. You know what number 2 was? Well, it just happened to be the week that Too Fine, Justin Klein, the general manager, happened to make an appearance. And the number 1 rated of all time for 505 was Battle of the Sexes. And that was the program when a record number of people tuned in to see you 3 get your asses kicked. How's that feel? Besides, it was after that match that I've got a new problem on my hands. A new couple of young upstarts that want to buck the system. A couple of guys that Ricky Morton brought in. A couple of good old Tennessee boys. Some volunteers. I'll tell you what, boys. Mason Dixon Line, you might as well volunteer to resign. Because after what you did at Battle of the Sexes to an official, you're on borrowed time. You're going to pay for what you did. It's clear that you have never had to respect authority, and you've never made good decisions for your career because you just suicided it. And now, the victim of that assault, that unprovoked, heinous act, just happens to be a devilishly handsome, overachieving, star in the making, who just happens to be my favorite nephew. Lucas Klein is my guest on the Lawyer's Lounge. How you doing, Lucas?
Thank you for having me, Uncle Justin.
I'm glad you can make it. I'm glad to see you're looking good and you're feeling better. You know, I was so impressed with the way you carried yourself, the way you handled yourself in what had to be a stressful situation in your debut in such a high-profile match that I'm going to make you the head referee at School of Morton. I think you deserve it. It'll also make you the highest paid referee. So Willie Manis might as well start collecting those Hardee's coupons again.
Thank you so much, Uncle Justin. It really means a lot coming from you that, I did such a great job. You're my idol, really. I've trained under you for years now. I want to be just like you when I grow up. So it really means a lot that you would give me that praise. I've really worked hard to be the best referee that at least SOM has ever had. And I like to think I'm one of the best referees around, even if I just kind of started. I've been doing this for a little while, you know that, but to really be able to referee the way it should be, I thank you for giving me that opportunity. And as for the money, I don't do this for the money. You know that. I don't need the money. But I also just don't do it for the money. I do it because of how much I love this business. I always love to see the good guys win, and you know that. It's great to see that victory and know that you did a job well done. And so that's why I love being a wrestling referee. I'll take the money, don't get me wrong. I would definitely take that position and that money. I mean, I think I earned it, but I don't do this for the money. I don't need the money. But thank you.
I couldn't be prouder. Hopefully your style, your mastery of the rule book, and your command of the ring will rub off on Brennan and Joe and Jeff and the rest of the guys. And in fact, how did they treat you? Did they treat you okay back in the locker room?
I came in a little late. Came in a little bit before the match that I was allowed to referee. I came in a little bit before that. I think they were a little mad at me for coming in late. I also don't think I followed dress code perfectly, according to them anyway. I certainly looked better than them.
Absolutely.
It's not hard necessarily, but I certainly improved the look, and I think that's what's most important in fashion is, maybe they have an okay base. We could use better models, but they have an okay base, but I improved it. Accessories, I don't know if anybody saw, but socks are important. They tie everything together, literally ties. The accessories are important. Anyway, as for how I was treated backstage, it wasn't great. I was not welcomed with open arms, except for by Viva Las Amish. They were very kind to me. They definitely took me under their wing, their chicken wing. They definitely brought me in, and we discussed how a referee should behave, and I think that I followed that to a T. I think I did a great job.
You were impeccable.
New Age villains weren't so nice.
Those punks.
New Age villains kind of stayed away from me, and I resented that. I still kind of do, but that's okay. Mason-Dixon line also kind of kept away from me. Wish that had stayed like that, but that's okay.
Don't you worry. I'm not going to let this slide. The Mason-Dixon line is going to pay for what they did to you. I'm not going to let anybody insult, embarrass, intimidate, or otherwise lay a hand on a member of the Klein family. You got me? They're going to pay for that. And then you got guys like Righteous who claim that you and I are the bullies, Lucas.
But yes, there's definitely room for improvement in SOM, and I'm looking forward to being the catalyst for that change and inspiring others. I really want to inspire SOM to improve. They're obviously not going to take it well, kicking and screaming, but I really want to be the one that moves the SOM forward, and I really want to help that company out. And you've given me this opportunity, and I thank you so much, Uncle Justin. Thank you so much for this.
You've got a big future here, Lucas. You and I together, pretty soon this is going to be called the School of Klein.